Have you ever noticed how restless your mind is? How rare the silence between thoughts? How quickly it chases after what's next, after what needs to be done? We live in a world where the mind has become agitated, craving, hungry for everything it doesn't have. And this is where it all begins, with desire. When Buddha reached enlightenment, he said, "I have seen the pillars on which the world is built." Those pillars were desires. Everything that exists in our lives, from careers and relationships to our goals, was first born as a desire. But desire, no matter how natural, can also become the main source of stress. A desiring mind is a restless mind, and a restless mind is a stressed mind. Stress doesn't always come from the outside world. It's not caused by coworkers, traffic, or deadlines. It comes from the conflict between what is and what the mind wants it to be. The mind wants something different from the present moment. It wants more. It wants different. It wants it now. That's why so many people live in a constant state of inner tension. They've been taught to conform, to follow rules imposed by parents, society, or school. And today, the life they live is the result of a conflict between their own desires and the direction they were forced to follow. That's where deep stress begins, not from a lack of something external, but from the inner conflict between who you are and who you feel you could have been. If there is suffering within you, it's because you were taught to suffer. If you're stressed, it's because, without even realizing it, you've learned to want things that aren't truly yours. Society teaches us to want more money, more success, more recognition. But it doesn't teach us how to be present, how to observe, or how to understand what's going on in our minds. The truth is, most of your thoughts aren't really yours. You've borrowed them, you've absorbed them, and you carry them without even noticing. But what if you started to observe, to notice the thoughts that pass through your mind? Without judging, without rejecting, just observing. That's the key. Honest observation of your own mind is the first step toward inner peace. You don't need to be completely silent. You don't need to go into the forest. You just need to pay attention. Because once you start observing, the mind begins to settle, the noise fades, and in its place comes clarity. The mind is not your enemy. It's a tool, an incredibly powerful one. But just like any tool, if you misuse it, you get hurt. When you stop fighting your thoughts and start understanding them, they begin to calm down. You stop wasting energy. You stop feeling mentally drained. You stop living in fear or guilt. In the past, people had fewer options. Their desires were simple: a roof, a family, a loaf of bread. Today, we have thousands of options. And yet, we're more stressed than ever. It's not the variety that's exhausting us. It's the greedy mind that's been trained to want everything. Career, freedom, money, recognition, lifestyle, everything, now. The more we want, the more stress we feel. But let's not forget, there is such a thing as positive stress, like when you exercise, when you learn something new, when you challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone. That is healthy stress. It's the kind of stress that fuels growth. But the difference is that this stress is intentional, conscious, chosen. Negative stress appears when you're trapped in thoughts you don't understand and can't control. Observation is the beginning of transformation. When you start to see clearly, everything changes. You realize there's nothing truly wrong out there. Everything begins inside. You are the source. If there's tension inside you, the world will mirror it. If there's peace inside you, the world will reflect that too. The mind always wants something else. But what would happen if, just for a moment, you accepted what is? Exactly as it is. Without trying to change anything, without running anywhere. Just being here. This acceptance is peace, and a content mind is a peaceful mind. Maybe you can't completely stop the thoughts. Maybe you can't eliminate all stress, but you can start with something simple. Observe. Be aware. Be honest with yourself. True peace doesn't come from controlling everything around you. It comes from understanding who you are inside. And when you do that, something profound begins to shift. You stop feeling like a victim of life and start becoming the creator of your own reality. If this message resonated with you, Take a few moments today to sit in silence, to look within. That's where everything begins. If this message spoke to you, if you found a moment of clarity or peace while listening, then consider subscribing. This space is dedicated to exploring the mind, awareness, and inner transformation. And if that resonates with you, you're in the right place. Thank you for being here.